Hi everyone, this is Claire from Flawless POS, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about how we can create an online store for our business. As you can see, I've created a demo website over here, and I'll start today by taking you through the different elements that are available to us. Most of what I'm about to show you can be customized, and as soon as I'm done here, I'll show you where and how to do that in the POS system. Okay, so when we look at the top of our page, we find the notification bar. Underneath that, we have the header, which includes icons for search, cart, as well as an account profile. And to the left, we've got all of our social media icons, and then of course our site logo. Beneath the header, we have the navigation bar, where we can set up menus as well as sub-menus. The next thing I want to show you is the footer, and so I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom of the page, and you'll see that this area here down below, everything underneath this line is referred to as the footer. By default, it comes with all the store's contact information, as well as a subscribe button, and then links to some useful pages. These are referred to as built-in pages, and I'll show you later how we can customize those. Everything between the header and the footer on our first page is referred to as the landing page. This is also a built-in page and fully customizable. You'll have control over every page that gets displayed, and as well as how you access it through links, but the header and the footer will appear on every page. Now that we've identified the different elements, let me take you to account branding in the POS system, where we can configure the theme for our website. To access account branding, we need to navigate to the website menu and then choose account branding at the bottom. If I click on the theme branding tab, I'm able to come over here to add an additional font that will become available for use in the site. Or I can click on the header, navigation, announcement, body, footer, buttons, or global tabs to configure the font to be used for that area, as well as the background color, the font color, and the font size. You'll see that this is standard to all of these different elements that I showed you on the website earlier. I can also go to the Logos tab to choose which logo will be used as the site desktop logo, site mobile logo, the Forms logo, or the site favorite icon. It's well worth playing around with the theme and logo settings, as one is able to create something truly remarkable in order to represent your store online. Alright, so next we need to look at pages. I would say this is probably the most important part of our discussion today, as pages really form the core of your website. So to get to pages, we're going to go to the POS and we'll find it under the website menu, and here we have pages over here. So if I click on it, you'll see that I've already created folders. These black icons represent folders with a couple of pages, and I also have two folders here, designers and categories, where I've created additional pages. So I actually have quite a few set up already. So the first thing I want to mention is if I were to go and create a new page by adding an item, you will notice that there's the basic builder and there's the V2 builder beta. Now the basic builder is the one that we know and love and have been using, and then this is a new and improved page builder which is still in the beta phase and not really available for use. So everything I'm going to show you today will be using the basic builder. So I'm just going to go through the steps of creating a page and the controls that are available to us in design time, and then I'll show you how all those controls look in the demo website I created and showed you earlier. So I'm going to exit out of here, and this is the root folder, you'll see it's got the store name, and I'm just going to add a folder here, and I'm going to call it test. And I'm just going to minimize these. Okay, now I found test. I can add a page by clicking add item. Like I said, I'm going to choose the basic builder. And then I'm presented with a page where I can capture a title for the page, as well as an SEO title and an SEO description. Now these are actually quite important because they're going to affect your page's ability to be returned, for example, in a Google search. Now, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and by providing an accurate title and description, it improves the appearance and positioning of your web page in an organic search result. Okay, so now I'm going to provide a title, and as important as the SEO settings are, this is just a demo, so I'm just going to capture some test data in there. So next we are presented with the actual page. This is where we're going to drop the controls, and this is where we're going to configure everything that we want this page to represent. So here you'll also see what I said earlier. The header will appear here and the footer will appear here. Those two sections are going to appear on every page that you create. Now to begin, we're going to click the plus sign, and we are presented with a list of controls that are available. Now these controls are actually very powerful and allow you to create just fabulous pages. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go through each control one at a time, and I'll show you the settings for that control, and then I'll take you to the demo website and show you where I've implemented it. Okay, so first of all, we've got the latest product carousel. This control will return a list of the most recent products that have been added to your system in a carousel format. And of course, this list can be filtered by type, category, materials, and designers. To delete the control, we just click on delete row. Let me take you to the landing page of my demo site to show you what the latest carousel looks like. So it will return some items, and then we can page through them in a carousel format. Okay, so that's the latest product carousel. Next we have the product list and filter. It's similar to the latest products carousel, but the display of the products will just be slightly different. It's going to be presented in a list rather than a carousel. Again, we can filter by type, category, materials, and designers, and you would provide a title for this list. Now I don't need to configure one, as I've already configured one previously, and this is what it would look like. This is now a list of products filtered by the designer Daniel Flynn. And there we go, we have a list of filtered products. The next thing we can look at is Google Maps. Now Google Maps is very handy, for example, if you have a contact page or whatever usage you can think of. So what you need to do is you need to find the HTML code for a certain location, and then paste that in here to embed that map into your page. Now you can find out how to do that by clicking on this link over here, and it will tell you exactly what to do. It's very easy. Just follow those steps and embed the code in here and click OK. Now once you have done that, it will look something like this. I'll take you to my contact page where I have inserted a map to a certain location, and there. Very good. Now similar to Google Maps, you can insert or embed a YouTube video. It's the same story. You need to just click here to get the steps you need to follow. It will provide you with some code which you must paste in here, and you click OK. And what I've done is I've embedded a YouTube video on my About page, and it looks something like this. just a little bit slow. There we go. So that's very nice as well. Now the next thing we can look at is how to add a row with columns. This is going to be your most powerful control, I think, in my opinion, when it comes to designing your page. Now you can add up to 4 columns, and then you can specify the width for the different columns. And once you have done that, you click on this little area over here in order to add content. Now we've already covered latest product carousel, Google Map and YouTube video, so let's look at image or video. So you can add an image or a video, and if you add more than one item, it will create a slideshow for you. Now after adding an image, for example, you're able to create a link. If that image is clicked, it can go to a certain location and you are able to choose. Must it go to the home page of your website? Do you want to take the customer directly to a product? Or do you want to go to one of the navigation links that you've set up in your system? And I'll show you how to do these in a minute or so. Or alternatively, do you want to provide a custom URL? And this can be a URL to any website page. Alright, and so you can set this up for all the images, and you can also tag other products on this image that you've uploaded to this row. Let me show you where I've done this on the website. So if I were to click on my menu item designers, I've created 2 rows over here. Each row has 2 columns, and I have inserted an image for each column. And if I click on that image, it will take me to another page that I have specified. And in this case, I've created a page for the best selling items by this specific designer. Now another control that you can add to your row is a text control. This is nothing more than a standard text editor. And I would say the most powerful feature here is to be able to link to another page. So for example, we can just click over here and you can again link to a page, an existing page in your system or a custom page. It's up to you. And I'll show you what that looks like. So back here to best selling items by Daniel Flynn, I've created a little row down the bottom with a single column. And here I've inserted some text with a link to another page. Now this happens to open a product list of all products for Daniel Flynn. Last control we can add to a row is a product. This will link you directly to a specific product. So for example, let's pick the white gold pendant setting. There you go. And then of course, depending on how many columns you've configured, you could do the same on this side as well. Or any other control for that matter. It doesn't have to be the same control. An example of where I've done this is the best selling items for the designer. This is now a row with 3 columns, and in each column I've created a control pointing to a product. So we've gone through the settings for a row, and so the last control that can be added directly to the page is a row separator. This comes in very handy when we want to separate certain sections on a particular page, and we have the ability to type text in it, but also to then center or right a line or left a line, and to also specify the color of both the text as well as the separator handle. And you can see here's left, center, right, and there's the color for the text, and here's the color for the handles. And let's have a look at an example. Here is a row separator where I have center aligned the text. And if I go here to About Us, there will be a row separator where I, for example, left aligned the text. And you'll see that the row handle is also in the color of my choice. Okay, so we're well on our way now to be able to create our online store. But I do need to discuss built-in pages with you. So now you have the ability to create all these beautiful pages, but you need to tell the system which are which. If it's just an ordinary page, you are going to access that page through a navigation link or text that's pointing to a specific URL. However, if you're looking to customize some of those built-in pages that I showed you right at the start of this video, you need to go to your page that you've created. For example, in this case, I've created my own personal pages for About Us, Contact Us, Frequently Asked Questions, and so forth. But the system is not going to link it up unless I go and I set the target for those pages. These are the built-in pages that are available. So for FAQ, I would say this is the FAQ page. And that way, if I go back to my website and I click on FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions, it's going to now open the page which I have just specified over here. Now, as I've said, unless it's a built-in page, you're going to need to access it through a navigation link, typically known as a menu item, or otherwise you're going to have to provide text somewhere with a URL pointing to that page. Now, in order to configure the navigation links, for example, here I've created a couple of designers. These are the designers, and these are then other pages pointing to the best-selling items for those designers. Now, to create these navigation links, I go to the POS. Again, under the website settings, I choose navigation. And here you'll see I've already created the menus. So I've created menu items, a main menu item, designers, which is, it's this here. And then I've also created sub-menu items for all the different designers, and you can do the same for rings and necklaces and all of those. And here are the sub-menu items. And if I click on designers, it will take me to one page. See this one here. But if I click on a particular designer, say Daniel Flynn, it will take me to a different page. I'll quickly just show you how to configure a navigation link, and I think then we should wrap it up for today. So I can go down here under site navigation and say add menu item. And we have a few options available to us. You don't actually have to have a menu item that necessarily links to a page. You can have a menu item that links directly to a list of products or diamonds or gemstones, or a page that you've created that contains a control for the products, diamonds or gemstones. Or you can link to a specific URL or an event or calendar page. So it doesn't always have to be a page that you've created in the steps before. But yes, so yeah, if you were to pick a page, you would just give it a name, and you could pick from all the pages that you have created. And then that menu item would display over here as either a main menu or a sub menu. And if you have a list of products, then it will do the same. There'll be a menu item for it. And of course, you can then filter the list according to your liking. Alright, so guys, I hope that helped. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and have fun and good luck designing your website.